So, over the past few days, I've been talking about what I believe it's going to take to make change. Just through my own kind of thoughts and through going through different scenarios, I guess, really in my head and with the information that we have out there, what with what we're seeing. And so I have mixed feelings about what I'm going to talk about today, though it's on the same topic. I have mixed feelings because it goes right in line with what I've been talking about over the past couple of days about, what is going to make change, and my belief or my feeling that not having internet access and not having social media could possibly create positive change. Although, yes, we would all freak out. We wouldn't know what to do. We've all become so addicted to this behavior or this lifestyle. So to lose that, or to cut that off, it would be really, really hard. But I think in the long run, like I said, I think we would acclimate back to some sort of remembrance of living again as human beings are designed to live. Even though that sounds even more out there, like, let's just think back to, when we were kids, or let's just think back to before we had the internet or social media. Like, obviously we got along this far. Obviously, all those hundreds and thousands of years, we continued to survive. So, to lose the internet, and social media, I think we would get by. We would survive. So, the mixed feeling part is or the part that seems so interesting and almost like synchronicity, that it would just happen to come up. But I think this is a really good example of why gosh, this is so hard to explain without being offensive. That's what's stopping me. Why I think that we would be better off without internet access and without social media. Don't know why that was so hard to put out, but nevertheless. So hang in there with me, guys. I'm not being discriminative here. I'm not calling anybody or anything out. But I do want to read this. And I'm going to tie it into what I've been saying over the past 2 days. So today, April 5th, 2026, Easter Sunday, could be a regular day for anybody. It could be a special day for anybody. It could have a lot of meaning. But I'm going to say it's Easter Sunday. So, don't drop off on me when I start this out. Stick with me here. Our President of the United States of America put out a post on social media, on the internet, and said this, quote, Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. So without getting into that, I want to use that as an example of the internet and social media and how we might all be better off without it. Right? What if that person didn't have the capability to put out that post without a social media platform? What if we didn't have access to the internet, to have social media, to receive messages like that? Isn't that an interesting thing to think about? You know, we can't undo today, and we can't undo what we've done today. That person can't undo what they wrote on a screen. But what if there was no capability to do that? To write those words on a screen where we could all see. Or the internet to access it. What kind of change would that have brought on today? I don't know how many of you out there have heard about that statement that our president put out today, or if you've read it. I understand if you don't want to be a part of it. I get it. I wasn't a part of it for a long time, and I chose not to be. And I don't want to get too far off in that field of politics. But what I want to do, keep reiterating here is, do you see how the internet and do you see how social media plays such a big role in our lives, and not necessarily in a good way? That it's not necessarily used in a good way? It's a shame, because it can be, and it has been for me in my life. I mean, you know, I've used it for business. I've used it for talking to my family that I live hours away from, and connected with people, you know, in all kinds of ways that I couldn't have without having that kind of access of the internet and social media. It's a very bittersweet thing. It really is. And to have grown up and seen this evolution of things, and truly, I believe, seeing the decline of it is really mind blowing. I'm grateful to have been there in the times when there was no internet and there was no social media. And yeah, I'm getting older, and yeah, you can put me in the category of thinking that I'm just being nostalgic and wishing for younger days and a simpler time, and how it used to be. Yeah, there's definitely emotion in that too, for sure. I kind of feel robbed of being able to just simply go through those emotions as I mature and age, because now there's all this other bullshit kind of compounded, and it doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your generation, it doesn't matter. It's this other thing. But this internet thing, this social media thing, if that was changed, if that was gone, if that was disrupted, what would that be like? How would we do? It wouldn't be like it was before. I know that. But would we have had to read and witness what our own country's president said today? No. Maybe he would have had to have time to think about it, and then it would come out in the newspapers, on Monday morning or something like that. But not at 8 o'clock in the morning on Easter Sunday. I'm over here. I'm looking at that paper again, and I'm not going to get tied up in the politics, but what if we didn't have access to the internet and social media? how much would our lives change? Anyway, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. I hope you are staying safe out there. And please have a peaceful day.